What's up, good people? It's your Final Fantasy homie Jay. If you came to the live stream last night, you witnessed one of the most hypest clears that me and my static has done. We cleared P1S for the first time last night with some craziness, and I thought I would use this video. You will see the craziness. I thought I'd use this video to kind of explain the monk's point of view, what I did. Also, any melee DPS can also do the exact same thing because it's not just monk, but I was playing monk. But any melee DPS can follow the same structure. Kind of explain my thought process, explain the mechanics, and hopefully, like, if you're interested in this content, kind of like get you an idea of how to think as a monk. Honestly, I didn't do everything great. I didn't do everything perfect, but I actually did do really great in this raid, in this run on the clear. So I thought it'd be great to kind of just talk about it and help everybody else out. So let's go ahead and talk about it and go through it. So, you know, at the start of the fight, always make sure that you have your formless shift activated. That way you can go straight into your dragon kick to start off your double solar opener. If you're not a big fan of double solar, then do lunar solar. I did double solar just so I can stay on my team's buff timers. So double solar here, make sure your chakras are full so you can have all that ready to go. So the nice thing about this fight is that this boss's hitbox is really big. So you have a lot of uptime to be able to play. This fight is actually really fun as melee because you have such a big hitbox to play with that you can move around quite a bit and still be able to continue to hit the boss. So this first move here is called Shackles. It's called Shackles. What happens is if you look in the top, if you look at the party list here, one person is gonna get one chain and another person is going to get a different chain. One person will get the red chain, one person will get a purple chain. What in the perfect world, all the melees, hopefully, in the perfect world, all the melees would be in the middle. That way you can do your uptime, but also because this boss hitbox is so huge, we can take advantage of that too. So what happens is all the purples want to be in the inner, these little inner spots where we got labeled A, B, C, D here, and all the red chains want to be on 1, 2, 3, 4, and that because with the red chains, if it hits more than one person, it will wipe. It will kill that opposite person it hit who did not have the chains. And with the purple, you want to make sure that you're really close so you can be tethered together, but not too close for the mini AOE to kill both of you. So that's really important here. So what you'll see is when you do this, what you see is all the purple chains will be on the inside, all the red chains will be on the outside. For me, I actually got the red chain. So what's going to happen is what our party did is that we color coordinated what will happen if we got different chains. Because in the perfect world, all the melees will be here, all the ranges will be on the outside. But since I actually got a red chain, me and my healer switched, and you would do the same. Like if this melee got a red chain, it would switch with their range partner and just switch it out. So that way we wouldn't have any issues like making a mistake or run into any issues here. And that's what you about to see. Since I got red, I went out and my healer went and took my spot. And since the hitbox is so big, I'm still able to keep my uptime. Like right here is the perfect spot where you can still hit and still not kill your teammates. Wait, what's happening, man? As you can see, we're still just vibing here. Mechanics went well. You can use True North here just to make sure that you get those extra positionals. Some of these mechanics you can't do anything about that. Some of the mechanics you can't do your positionals, so try to say True North for that. That will help a lot. This mechanic here, what you have to do is read which weapon he drops first, and it tells you what happens, and then which weapon drops second. What he did is he dropped this little spiky ball here. Not spiky ball. He dropped this weapon with spikes on it. What this tells you is that he's gonna swing in the inside. He's gonna swing really close to him. So pretty much inside this his box circle is where he's gonna swing first. And then the second weapon with the hole in it means he's also gonna swing on the outside. So what happens is that you have to dodge the inside circle first. So you run out and then you run back in to dodge the outside circle. If he would have dropped the outside circle one first, then it would have been reversed. You would have stayed in and then you would have run out. So you have to watch what weapons he drop here. There's another weapon he can drop. It's his like kind of Reaper Scythe. That one, I think that happens in here too. And if that happens, I'll explain the mechanics. But essentially, if he drops his Reaper Scythe, you want to start on the opposite side of the Reaper Slice because it's going to do a big pizza cut. And then you switch over and dodge the other pizza cut. But for this one, we're going to dodge the inner ring first and then run back in to dodge the outer ring. As melee to keep your uptime, I would push you to try to to try to time your cooldowns, I missed it here. I actually ran back a little too early. I had one more time to get another attack off, but if you can get one hit off and tap out really quick, and the inner will actually miss you, and then you can get back in. I didn't time it perfectly, so my cooldown didn't allow me to do that. But I didn't want to take a damage down, so I just sacrificed. I sacrificed my uptime a little bit right there. So then we just go back kind of vibing, and we're all staying stacked just for the heals and stuff. So this mechanic is a tank mechanic. One tank will get pushed, and depending on what I don't know too much about it, depending on what the buff is or what the icon is, it tells you that if you need to stack with the tank or run away from a tank. This mechanic we were stacking, so this is a stack mechanic, so we're stacking here. Take this team together. Take this team damage together. You can use you can use mantra here because that'll help the heals. This is the second mechanic I was talking about, and I'll go back just a little bit so you can see it. Let's go a little bit. So as you see, after the stack mechanic, he drops a chain here. See, so he drops kind of like a scythe chain here. This scythe chain is what it's gonna do. It's gonna do pretty much like a 240 AoE damage on the side that he drops it. And then he's gonna, whenever you see the scythe chain, he's gonna do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So you always want to start on the second chain because that means he's gonna attack with this one first. You want to start on the second chain and then cross over. And that's kind of what we do here. Use your true north when you need to. So you stand on the chain of the second one, and then you cross over to the chain of the first one. Just like that. And then we cross over. And then we go back kind of just vibing. Hit Warden's oh gosh, English is hard. Water's Wrath. It's just an AoE. You know, here you're gonna see me use Feint. I use Feint to help mitigate. You can use Riddle here to mitigate. Feint's gonna help the party. If you're good at Riddle Earth, you can use that. As you can see, I could have used Riddle Earth so many more times in this fight, but I was so focused on just making sure I was paying attention to the mechanics and hitting my positionals that I wasn't using Riddle Earth. So that's something that you should be doing as a monk. It's using your Riddle of Earth when you can. Don't be like Jay. Do as I say, not as I do. So like I said, the nice thing is that we're just vibing here, hitting positionals. We're just hitting our abilities. Intemperance is the next mechanic that I'll explain here. So Intemperance comes up. So what this is, I'm gonna wait till we get a better angle so everybody can see. Okay, so what this is I'll have a video. I'll have a picture posted right here. So if you can see this picture here, what this is that each player needs to be in a very specific spot. So usually it's gonna be if you're looking at the map, like it's a straight up and down, north to south. You're gonna have your main tank here. Your tanks are north and south. Your healers are west and east, or east and west, and then each one of your DPS are on the four corners. So you got northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest, and then depending on how these are laid out, how the ice boxes are laid out, it will tell how you move. So usually what happens is we all stay, we take the first hit. So what happens is it does a hit, which is Interpret Torment, and then it does this AoE move, and then it does another Interpret Torment, and then it does another AoE move, and then it does an Interpret Torment. And that's kind of how the mechanic works. So what you want to do is you stay in your spot for the first Interpret Torment for the first attack, and then I'll show you kind of what we do. But this is kind of going to be the layout you want to do here. So after the first Interpret Torment, you're going to see that the party itself is going to start shifting here. So after we take that first hit, everybody shifts over. So what happens now is the second phase. In the second phase, the tanks will go north. Both tanks will go north. All DPS will come south. And then all the healers, then the two healers will stay mid. So what happens is now it's going to be a massive AoE. So you can use your Riddle Earth here. Damage mitigation is going to be good because it's going to hurt a lot. It will help the healers a lot. And then after the AoE, he's going to do the Interpret Torment again. And then that will take care of the second part of this mechanic. As you can see, all the melees come down here. You got the healers in the middle, and then all the tanks at the top. So that was the AoE. That's the second Intemperance tournament. And then for the last part, if it's a triple, and you can tell depending on how the ice boxes are at the top. If it's a triple form, then you just stay. We go back to our original spots and we stay there. We stay there. We keep doing what we're doing. It's gonna be another AoE. So use your riddles. I actually kind of used the riddle earth there. I see one of my stacks gone. Good job, Jay. And then he'll do the last torpor. If it's a 2-1 mechanic, then what happens is on this third one, we would have moved clockwise. So I actually would be where Mare is here. Mare would have moved over. Elise would have came down. Everybody would have just rotated to the right to clockwise once. Everybody would have rotated clockwise once. But since this was a triple, where we just actually go back to our original spots here. So that's the AoE. Healer's doing their thing. We're vibing. I look so stressed here. And then that's it. That takes care of that whole mechanic. So now this is another tank mechanic. So in this one, depending on what it was, the tank's gonna get knocked back. Our off tank is actually gonna have to take this solo hit. So what we immediately have to do is after our main tank gets pushed, we have to rotate over so we don't take this damage from the off tank. And what happens is the further you are for the off tank, the less damage you will take. So that's what this mechanic is here. See, our tank gets pushed. He mitigated. We moved over, then take the damage, and then we kind of go back. And like I said, the nice thing about this boss is the hitbox is actually really big. So as melee, like you have a lot of uptime here. So this move is Shining Sail. It does massive raid wide damage. Mitigate, please. Mitigate, please. I also think I may have used a riddle earth here. I may not. If you can see by my face, I am 100% focused right now and stressed out. So Shining Sail is going to take us into our next mechanic, but just make sure you mitigate here because there's a lot of damage that happens here. As y'all can see, that hurts. So this, if you play normals, if you play the normal version, this is the mechanic where you have to watch the element that's spinning around the boss to tell you which one is not safe. And then we also have to do the mechanics of the chains again. So it's going to be a double thing that's happening in this one. So if we're paying attention, we got the whites flowing around him. So that tells us that white is not safe. We need to go to red. He also threw down the scythe weapon, which tells us that the left side of him is also not safe. It's not safe either. So we have to, so we can't stand on white and we can't be to the left of him. We need to stand on red. And he also dropped, the second one he dropped was the spikes, which tell us that the inside of him is not safe. His hitbox inward is not safe. So what we need to do is we need to get to the red, which would be the outside here. We also need to get to the right of him because the left side is not safe. And we also need to get to the outside circle. If this was a open circle weapon, then we would stand on the inside red, like somewhere over here. Right. But since this is the spike ball, we have to all move out here to be safe and dodge all three mechanics that's happening at one time. And like I said, the hitbox is really good. So where I'm standing is the perfect spot because you can actually still hit the boss from here and keep your uptime going. So you'll want to kind of be right at the edge of the red and you'll be just fine. This is another tank. This is another tank mechanic. Main tank is pushed. We run away from off tank because he got the buff. So we run over here to the off tank. We're over to the main tank to dodge that ability. Then we go back. Get ready for the next mechanic. White is not safe. So he dropped the outer circle first, which tells us that the outside ring is no longer safe. So the outside ring is not safe. Also, white is not safe because white is spinning around his body. And he dropped the dagger here. He dropped the Reaper Scythe here. I'm just going to call it Reaper Scythe. The hook. He dropped the hook here. Which tells us that that this side of him also is no longer safe. So we're gonna stand right here in this red box here, if I'm not mistaken. We stand right here in this red box. That way we dodge the white mechanic, we dodge the outside damage, and we dodge this side of the damage that he's gonna do here. Yep. So we stand right here. That's the outside ring. That's the left side swipe, and then the whites exploded. So we're good here. So we're just vibing here. Shackles of Time is a mechanic. is a mechanic that one person, it can be anybody. This is going to be completely random. You one person is going to get this debuff. As you can see on Mare, there's this purple little chain that swarms around him. Whoever gets this debuff needs to just stand on red. That's what this mechanic is saying. Everybody else stands on white. If you do not, only one person in this mechanic should be on red, and it's whoever has this debuff here. This Shackles debuff. Everybody else stands on white. As you can see, and I think white is called holy, red is called, I'm not sure, but I'm just going to use red and white as a, I know it's like blue or something, but I'm going to use red as white as the symbols here. As you can see, that's how you take care of that mechanic. We're just vibing. Slam shut is just going to be a massive AoE that takes us out of this mechanic. Use mitigations. Jay should be using Riddle of Earth here, but he is not. He's just eating this damage because that's what Jay does. In my opinion, this is the hardest mechanic in the fight that's coming up right here. This is a second Shackles. This is the hardest mechanic that's in the fight. This is the one mechanic that we could not get by, and then this one time we got by, we actually cleared. So this is legit the hardest mechanic in the fight. What's gonna happen is it's gonna do the Shackles again from the first phase, and it's gonna give you, everybody's gonna get different timers though. So there's gonna be 4 people who get purple, or 4 people who get red, and depending on the timer, and I'll have the picture here. I'll throw the picture up here so you can see it. Depending on the timer is where you need to stand on the designated marker. So from my point of view, I'll kind of explain it because everybody gets different timers here. So I got a 7-second purple. As you can see here, there's a 7-second purple. It was 7 seconds. It's 6 now, which means so based on the diagram, so like A would be a 3-second purple. B would be a 8-second purple, C is a 13-second purple, and D is an 18-second purple. Same way here, 1 to be a 3-second red. And then you have yellow, you have this 2 that's gonna be an 8-second red. Then you have 3 that over here in this corner, that's a 13-second red, and then you have 4, which would be an 18-second red. And based on what your timer is, tells you where you need to go. So if I did this right, I should be moving to B because I got the 8-second purple. And see, perfect. See everybody's moving to their spots here. So in this, so what happens is it hits 4 times. You do not want to move while this is hitting. If you move, it can mess the chains up and it can murder everybody. And it has happened many times to our party. So once this mechanic starts, you pretty much want to stay still and not move. So my party right here is stressing out because we know how many times we died. We're all just standing here. Worst case, if you end up getting red as melee, you can stand at the edge of this square, and you will be in range to continue the boss without killing anybody. So the max distance you can be is right at the edge of this square, and you can continue to hit the boss for uptime for melees. Just FYI. So like for instance, Alun was a little too far back, so he wasn't able to do it, but he was able to stand right here on this square. He would have been able to continue his rotation here. Just FYI. If you want to keep the uptime going. So we got past that mechanic. As you can see, I'm laughing because I was like, we struggled on that mechanic so hard. All right, so we got another AoE. So this is the last half of the fight. We're at 40%. Everybody's excited, hype, because we feel like we can clear it now. We feel like we can actually do this. But something interesting happens as the fight continues. So we're back at another Intemperance. It's gonna be the exact same thing. Once again, all DPS go to the corners, healers go to east and west, tanks go north and south. But in this mechanic, he's also gonna add the chain mechanic. So you also have to do the rotations, and then you also have to dodge the chains to make sure that nobody dies. And in this mechanic, if anybody messes up, the whole team wipes. It's gonna kill the entire team. As we're about to witness here. So this is what happens here. Watch out for the in and out. So we're waiting for the first Intemperate Torment to hit. And then we're gonna rotate south because we're DPS. Okay, it hits, we go south. But now we gotta watch out for the chains. He does a chain move. So he did outside. So outside is not safe. And you're gonna want to do it and then so outside is not safe, and then inside is not. Then inside Outside's not safe and then inside's not safe. So you need to go in and out. But you need to wait to get hit by this mechanic first and then do the chain mechanic. So if you move too early and you're not, if you end up walking into the square, you're gonna kill everybody because you need to be in the right spot to not take damage. As you see, I'm right up on the edge of the square. So as soon as this explodes, I can immediately run in.
Everyone move to the middle.
So everybody moved in. And then so what happens is he does this move. You have to do your square. You have to go in to dodge the ability, and then you immediately have to go back to your next spot. And this one was a 2-1. So we all needed to move clockwise one time. So after he did the swipe, instead of me going back to my original spot like the first one, I need to go south, straight south. So I just go straight back down. So that means everybody will rotate over once, and then it would dodge the inner mechanic. So we need to run, and we need to go at spots to get hit and dodge the last mechanic.
One clockwise over, go.
So I didn't dodge that mechanic there. I didn't move out enough. I actually got hit there. A couple of us got hit. Ice Cream also got hit. Big also got hit. This is our first time. Like this is us. Like this is when the stress kicked in. If we always in the correct spots, we would have been good. As we can see, this spot here, there's nobody here. So this is a situation. If not everybody's in their spot, we're in trouble.
Oh no.
As you can see here, our bard is booking it to try to get over there in the Discord. He's like, oh no. He's like, oh no. But he actually doesn't make it. And if, as you can see, if everybody doesn't get to their spots, it murders everyone. so because of that, we're in a really tight situation here. But our healer is still alive, and we are begging for LB3. We're begging for LB3. but he got the LB3 off, so we can continue to keep going. In a perfect world, everybody would have been in the correct spots. Nobody would have died, and we would have been okay. But since that happened, we were blessed with the LB3. So everybody's hype right now. so we're continuing the mechanics. So just an FYI. One of the hypest clears that I think our raid party has had so far. Shining Sail is the massive AoE again. It's going to take us into the colors.
Doing this, we're going to have chains. It's going to be the same, except you're going to inch onto the side that we need to stand on. Watch your chain.
So we're just doing the thing again. We're just rolling.
Normal chain spot.
In this one, this is the last phase. What happens is this one, we also have to do the colors. And we also have to do the original shackle chains where purple needs to be on the inside and red needs to be on the outside. But you have to do it based on what color is safe. So it's a combination of both.
All right, big and we're fine where we are. Normal spots.
So as you can see, all the purples are here because Big has a purple. I didn't get anything, which means I just stay in the inside because if you don't get anything, you just melees would just go in, ranges would go out. So if you don't get anything, you just kind of work with your partner. Ease out, I'm in, so we're good. The red is glowing around his body, which means that holy is safe. The reds are not safe. So we also have to stay in, but we also need to position ourselves on the correct colors, which will match how we usually would stack for chains anyway. So everybody's going to rotate onto the holy ones. You're going to see E move over. You're going to see Vin, Ice Cream. Everybody's going to rotate to the holy ones. And then we're going to stay in the same, but we're going to stay the same distance. Like that. See, we stay the same distance. Everybody stays on holy. The chains activate. Now we need to switch because the white come up. Now these chains are about to activate again. So now holy is not safe, and we head towards the fire spots. And we just keep doing the same thing. There it is, perfect. This is when that stress starts kicking in because you're like, oh my God, we might actually be able to do this. All right, that's a very wide move. So we're just fighting it at this point. We've been given a second chance. I'm using Mantra here just to help with the heals. Shackles of Time is the one where one person is gonna get the shackle again. In the first one, we had if the person got the shackle, you had to get on the red, and everybody else is on white. For this one, the one person with shackles will get on white, and the rest of the team needs to be on red.
Stand on holy. Everyone else on fire. Stack on me after this.
So then you also got the tank knockback.
Stack on me. Stack on
We had the stack here for the ability. And then we also had to do the mechanic of staying on red. Perfect. Looking at myself do this is kind of funny because I can see my face. So we got Ray right here. It's like I said, it's melee. You're just. I mean, the nice thing is the hitbox is just so good, so you can continue to do what you need to do. Use your true north when you aren't allowed to do anything crazy. So this one is once again we have to pay attention to which color is not right. You also have to pay attention to which things he put down. So he put down the hook here, the Reaper weapon, and he put down the spike here. So that means that the right side of him is not safe, and that the inside circle is not safe, and that the white is not safe. So either need to move red here in this top corner or red here. I can't remember exactly which one we moved to. I think we have to move like in this little corner right here in this little spot above my cam. Okay, so we moved to this bottom corner. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So we dodged the hook. We dodged the inside swing. As you can see, I'm right on the edge of this square. That way I can continue to hit this boss for uptime. Because the more you can keep pushing buttons, the more damage you're gonna keep doing. And damage is important. So you want to be right on the edge so you can continue to slap this boss. You don't want to be standing back here and not doing anything as a melee. You want to be right up on it. You want to kind of be like playing with life and death here. All right, so he's doing it again. Red is not safe. He did the scythe, so left side is not safe. And then outside is not safe. So we're just gonna stand right here on this white to dash all three mechanics. There goes the swipe. The outside circle hits next, and then the red also hits. So he's gonna do it again. So he did spike ball. Inside is not safe, and then outside is not safe. So we're gonna have to do them both. So so chat actually got really hyped. So in this moment, I got confused. In this moment, I started going the wrong way. Because inside's not safe and then outside's not safe. So what happens is we have to go to white and then we have to run in to go to the next white. I went the wrong direction. But as a monk, we have an ability called I call it what's this thing called? I changed the word to cheek slapper, but we have clapper. And I use that to save my life. So as a monk, be ready to adapt because you have an ability that can save your life at any point in time. Chat was actually really hyped that I did this because it was one of those things that I didn't think about. I just did it. I saw Aaron and I just dashed to him. So I made sure I did not die. Oh, which was a really like clutch moment. So that was a really clutch moment there. So we got him at 5%. What happens is we're getting really close to enrage. He's gonna do one more move, and then it would enrage. And when in any boss, when it enrages, it instantly kills everybody. So we're really close to not clearing this, by the way. So this is when the pressure kind of kicks in. We're really close. Ray wide. He does 3 Ray wides. The third Ray wide kills everybody. So that was one. And then he's going to do a second one. And we have to kill him here or we lose. So and that's the whole fight. So he does he does 4 enrages there. He does 4. The 4th Ray wide would have wiped the party. So that is the clear. That is how you would clear this fight. Those are the mechanics. Hopefully this helps you a lot. It was one of the hypest clears that we have had because of the LB3 and like the last like enrage mechanic. So it was hype. Hopefully this video helps you out as a monk player, as a melee player. I think this is going to be super useful. Just looking for the uptimes, and also remember use your clapper because it can save your life. Hope this video helps, and I will see y'all in the next video. This was such a hype moment. I have to say it was probably one of the best monk times I played. just throw it out there.